What's up, guys? D-Rock 1992 here. For this next video, I'm going to be talking about probably one of my favorite actors to watch of all time. He would probably be on my top 10 list for sure. The guy I'm talking about is Marky Mark himself, Mark Wahlberg. He's been a great actor for a long time, and he's one of those outstanding examples of a rapper who turned into a great actor. Will Smith was one I just recently did. He had a successful rap career, transitioned that into television and movies. Mark Wahlberg, pretty much the same way. First of all, you gotta talk about Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, his own band, before you get into the movies. There really is only one song to talk about when you talk about Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. And that's the song Good Vibrations, which is a very good song. I like the song a lot. Number one on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1991. It's one of those songs that absolutely is definitely synonymous with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, first of all, but it's going to go down generation after generation as a good song. I mean, you can listen to it any time, really. I mean, anytime, any day, and it's definitely 80s. And actually, it's 90s. 1991, the single came out. But, that song really was very memorable for Mark Wahlberg, and I mean, it definitely is, again, one that he's definitely known for, the band is known for. But anyway, gotta get into the movie career now. Wahlberg made his film debut in 1993's The Substitute. He was credited as Marky Mark in the movie, and he had a supporting role in the movie. And, yeah, this was the debut for Mark Wahlberg. In 1995, he comes out with The Basketball Diaries. He plays a supporting role in the film along with Leonardo DiCaprio. And this movie is about him and DiCaprio and other characters play basketball, but unfortunately on the side they are addicted to drugs. So that's what the movie is about. I think it's based off a book. I think there was a book called The Basketball Diaries. Yes, it is. It was a book. And so The Basketball Diaries is a memorable one. It started getting Mark Wahlberg some attention, definitely, among the acting community. It's like, hey, this rapper Marky Mark's an actor. That's probably what a lot of people were thinking. Marky Mark, hey, he's an actor. 1996, he comes out with the movie Fear, and he plays a serial killer of sorts, a really creepy type of character. Reese Witherspoon's in the movie as well. They're both the big stars in the movie. And basically, he goes after Reese Witherspoon's character, and he is possessive. Very possessive. So it's a thriller drama type film, and this one got a lot of notice for Mark Wahlberg. But the next film I'm going to talk about is the absolute breakout for him, and that's 1997's Boogie Nights. It's a classic film, and it's just classic. I watched it once, and I liked it a lot. It is about the porn industry, and he plays a guy, Eddie Adams, who's also known in the porn industry as Dirk Diggler, and he gets into the porn industry because his Junk is pretty fine in the movie. Pretty darn good. I mean, it's easy for him to get ready for a porn appearance. Also in the movie, Heather Graham has a memorable appearance as a girl named Roller Girl. Burt Reynolds is in the movie. Julianne Moore. Um, it's a scary. It's a good look at the porn industry, but it's also a look at what fame will do to you. Basically, what fame can do to you, and there's a later movie that proves that point even more with Mark Wahlberg that Mark Wahlberg was in. But Boogie Nights is just a great movie in itself. It was his breakout. 1999, he comes out with the movie Three Kings, and he co-stars in this movie with Ice Cube and George Clooney. This is one where they have to. They're these Iraqi veterans. Wahlberg, Clooney, and Cube are these three Iraqi veterans, U.S. veterans, that were in the Gulf War, and they go off on their own and they try to find treasure, basically. And so that's what that movie's about. Another movie that is well known in Mark Wahlberg's filmography. In 2000, Wahlberg comes out with The Perfect Storm. And that movie is about... This movie also has George Clooney in it. A couple collaborations between Wahlberg and Clooney. This is where they go fishing out in the ocean and they get caught up in a huge storm. Also, John C. Reilly, I believe, is in the movie. Diane Lane. It's based on a book, actually. So, another movie that Wahlberg starred in that's based on a book. 2001, he comes out with Rockstar. He's a rock star in the movie who wants to be in a band. Also co-starring in the movie, an early appearance from Jennifer Aniston. But anyway, Rockstar is this movie about Wahlberg's character gets into a rock band, and you see how he gets fame very quickly, but then that fame gets to his head, and he falls into alcohol and drugs, falls down the wrong path. But then at the end of the movie, he comes right back. It's a perfect rock story, basically. 2003, he comes out with a heist thriller movie, The Italian Job. He's in the movie with Charlize Theron, Donald Sutherland, I believe, Edward Norton. The Italian Job is a memorable film in Wahlberg's career. It's a good one, definitely. It's an American remake of a British film of the same name, actually. So they plan to steal Wahlberg and a team of people, including one of the team members is played by Jason Statham. But Wahlberg and his team, they have to steal back gold that they stole before, but then a team member of theirs betrayed them to steal that gold. The team member played by Edward Norton. It's a good movie. It's a good, memorable type of movie. Let's see. 2005, he comes out with Four Brothers. Also in the movie is one of the rappers for Outkast, Tyrese Gibson. This is about how four adopted brothers, their mother gets shot and killed in a holdup at market, a little gas station store. She gets killed, And the four brothers, they have to they avenge her death. They go out and they kill the people who killed the mother. It's a very good movie. It's a very good action film. It's an early film for TV and movie MILF Sofia Vergara. Early film for her. So that's one thing there. 2006, he comes out with Invincible. This is where he's a football player. He gets to join the New York Jets, I believe it is. Philadelphia Eagles, rather. It is based on the true story of a football player who played with the Philadelphia Eagles. And another movie that's very memorable for Mark Wahlberg. One of his finest movies, in which he only does play a supporting role, is a movie I actually watched quite recently, The Departed. It was a movie that was on my bucket list to watch for a long time, and Wahlberg plays a small role in the film, but an important one. Alec Baldwin is in the film, Jack Nicholson, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon. I've already described the film before, so I'm not going to get into it again, but The Departed, I would recommend it to anybody. It's a good watch. It's a good Martin Scorsese film. 2007, he appears in a movie called Shooter. He has the lead role. Danny Glover's also in the film. He's this sniper, I believe, who has to get revenge against people who double-crossed him. In 2008, he appears in a movie called The Happening. And this is one where The Happening wasn't a very good critically reviewed type film, I don't believe. 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. He stars in the movie with Zooey Deschanel. The only reason I mention the film in the first place is because there are plants. The villains in the movie are plants that can talk, I think, or something like that. Some ridiculous thing like that. Also in 2008, he comes out with... 2008 wasn't a great year for him in movies. The Happening was not a very good, critically acclaimed movie, and Max Payne also was not a critically acclaimed movie. Max Payne only got 16% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's based off a video game, loosely based on a video game. In 2010's a pretty good year for Mark Wahlberg. Date Night comes out. I reviewed Date Night on my channel. Tina Fey and Steve Carell are the lead characters in the movie. Mark Wahlberg plays a good supporting role. And it's a good movie. Definitely. Good watch. 2010 also, he comes out with The Other Guys. I know I've talked about it before with Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg are the main characters. They are the other guys, the guys behind the scenes in the police force who suddenly have to step up and solve this mystery, basically. And, it's actually kind of a rare comedic turn for Mark Wahlberg. Lately, he's been getting into a lot of comedy-type films, which is definitely a good thing. He's very versatile. He can get into comedy-type films, and he can do drama-type films and action. He is good at what he does. 2010, he comes out with The Fighter. This is, I think, based on a true story, and it has Amy Adams and Christian Bale in it. And I believe Christian Bale won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. And a girl named Melissa Leo won for Best Supporting Actress. This is a movie. Mark Wahlberg is the main guy. It is a biographical film. It's based on a true story. That's one I definitely want to see someday. The Fighter. In 2012, he comes out with one of his best known movies. This is a movie that makes you laugh for sure. It is bound to probably offend some people, but you can't take this comedy seriously. I mean, Ted. Ted in 2012. I've watched the movie a couple of times. It's hilarious. Seth MacFarlane, who voices the bear Ted, is just a funny presence in comedy today. And having Mark Wahlberg in the movie is great. He has a lot of scenes with he has the majority of the scenes with the bear. Mila Kunis is in the movie. Giovanni Ribisi. It's just a great comedy film, Ted is. 2013, he comes out with Pain and Gain, which I have to say is a pretty weird movie when I watched it first off. It wasn't great. It was okay. It was okay. It was just pretty strange, kind of. But yeah, it's directed by Michael Bay. And it's about these guys. It's based on a true story, loosely based on a true story about these guys who are on steroids. These bodybuilders who are on steroids who kidnap this rich guy. This rich man. Or something like that. Well, but anyway. Pain and Gain is one of Wahlberg's films, definitely. Also in 2013, he appears in Two Guns. He is in this film with Denzel Washington, and this is about a rival group of this FBI agent or something like that. These undercover agents who are against each other that have to work together to stop a common threat. Basically, it's a pretty good film. Also in 2013, he comes out with Lone Survivor. This is one about, I think it's the Vietnam War or something like that. It's a war film. Mark Wahlberg, the main guy in the movie. Or no, it's set during, actually, the war in Afghanistan. So from my memory, it's one of the first movies to really deal with that. Deal with the war in Afghanistan. And so Lone Survivor's another big one for Mark Wahlberg in his filmography. This year, he appeared in Transformers: Age of Extinction, which is so far the highest grossing film of 2014. And it also got some very bad reviews. It was directed by Michael Bay. Michael Bay's a director there's a lot of controversy surrounding him in his types of films. But yeah, Transformers: Age of Extinction, he was in that movie. Some movies that are coming up. That's pretty much it for Wahlberg and his career in general. I mean, in his movie career in general. You know, television, he appeared on Saturday Night Live in a memorable... He appeared as himself in Saturday Night Live in 2008. And in that appearance, Andy Samberg was known for imitating him on SNL. So Wahlberg came on and kind of confronted him about his jokingly confronted him about his impression of him. And then he appeared on Entourage a few times as himself. 4 times, actually. So, a movie that is coming out for Wahlberg is the movie Mojave, which is a crime thriller. Mark Wahlberg has a supporting role in the film. Plot reads like this: a near-suicidal artist who escapes to the desert only to encounter his doppelganger-like antagonist, a homicidal drifter. Wahlberg will have a supporting role in the film, and Mojave does not have a date out yet. No date out of when that's going to be released. Also, actually next year, I think. No, actually, it'll be this year. Actually, already premiered at this AFI Fest. I'm talking about the movie The Gambler. And it came out November 10th at AFI Fest, this movie festival. But it'll have a wide release on December 19th of this year. And The Gambler plot is this: a literature professor with a gambling problem runs afoul of gangsters. First of all, who would picture Mark Wahlberg playing a literature professor, for one thing? I know I wouldn't. Mark Wahlberg's characters, normally his characters are angry little people, basically, is what they are. He's an angry, pissed off little guy, short guy. John Goodman's been in a ton of films and TV and all that. John Goodman has a supporting role in the film. Look for The Gambler December 19th. We are getting a Ted 2 in 2015. Alright, we are getting a Ted 2. I'm excited. Mila Kunis isn't going to be in this one. Mark Wahlberg's interest is going to be Amanda Seyfried. Seth MacFarlane's going to return as the bear. And actually Morgan Freeman and Liam Neeson are going to be in the movie, which is awesome. Tom Brady of the New England Patriots, the quarterback, is going to have a role in the film. And it is definitely, so Ted 2, look for that movie out June 26th of next year. Look for that out very soon. And then in 2015, he's coming out with a film called Daddy's Home. And it's going to be another film appearance with Will Ferrell. So far, they're the two main characters in the film. And from what I remember, the film's going to be about a father who's played by Will Ferrell and like an uncle who's played by Mark Wahlberg. I think they're these brothers, or brother-in-law or something like that. And Wahlberg's character is a pretty foul-mouthed type character, what he normally plays, basically, from what I understand at least. But look for Daddy's Home in the near future. It's another collaboration with Will Ferrell, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. And then there's another one that's coming out. It is an adaptation. There was a TV show in the 50s called The $6 Million Man, which had actor Lee Majors. And what that was about was this guy who got into a bad accident, and basically he's reconstructed as a robot-type character, and it cost $6 million to do that. Mark Wahlberg, because of inflation, Mark Wahlberg's going to be the $6 billion man. It was actually recently announced that Mark Wahlberg will be the $6 billion man. And he definitely... It's an interesting type of role for him, definitely. One he could pull off easily. Mark Wahlberg could pull off pretty much any role he's in. And he, for the most part, has. So, look for the $6 billion man coming up in probably a couple of years or so. But anyway, that's it. Really, that's it for Mark Wahlberg's movie and television career. Here's to hoping that he will continue to make great movies in the future. So that's it for this video. D-Rock 1992 out.